Hey comic book collectors, it's Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and today we're going to talk about a brand new subscription service that is designed to take on apps like Key Collector or be marketed at price guides like GoCollect or COVRPRICE. So you might ask yourself, who is this brand new player in the game? Who do we have to look forward to entering the arena? Well, the answer is the oldest price guide in town, Overstreet Price Guide. So Overstreet is launching Overstreet Access. So obviously this new app and web platform is designed to do things like basically serve the functions that GoCollect or Key Collector, COVRPRICE, those sorts of guides out there that are online digital guides, as well as apps that help you hunt for comic books. If you're curious, hey, is Overstreet Access really trying to take on Key Collector? Like some places are suggesting. Now, this article is over on Bleeding Cool, of course, by Rich Johnston, who, of course, publishes articles like this all the time. But if you look at their own site, which we just were a second ago, yeah, that looks a little bit like they might be trying to evoke what Key Collector has going on. Just a little bit. So taking a look at the copy paste here from their own press release, Overstreet Access is the ultimate evolution of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, which is, of course, the most well-established and well-respected price guide in comic books, hands down. Overstreet has sort of been reluctant to dip their toe into this kind of new space. And frankly, as this article and other places point out, it's sort of caused them to lose maybe some of their market share or cachet that they've had in the past with some collectors. I think some collectors still swear by Overstreet, and I think that it's definitely a good part of the arsenal for determining comic values and a foundational part of that arsenal too. So we learned that Gemstone Publishing, which of course has been publishing the Overstreet Price Guide, which is of course owned by the Jeppy family, which of course is who owns Diamond and Gerber and all kinds of these other different companies, right? They are quite the entertainment empire. We've learned that they are going to launch this new app as well as sort of a digital portal. And it's not just an app, because actually, if you look at their tiers, they're not even offering app access until you get to the $5 a month tier, which is silver. And by the way, there's also another error on this that I just want to point out. They call gold the best tier. We all know bronze is the best tier. I'm just saying that was an easy mistake that they could have fixed, but hey, whatever. We'll just assume that they know what they're talking about. They are Overstreet after all. But there is a free version of the price guide, which allows access to browse their comic book database and view basic data, as well as metadata about publishers, titles, issues, story arcs, characters, and contributors. I'll check that feature out as I get time to, and as it kind of rolls out, I guess. And we'll see what that looks like. For bronze tier, which is $3 a month, you get all the tiers after this include a free 2-week trial. I'm not going to read that every time. You get access to the comic database and view basic data. You also get pricing information and access to special editorial content. Already, I think we've kind of drifted into territory here that is, I guess, to be expected. But this editorial content, that's where you have things like, here's how it should be, or here's how we say it should be, or here's how you should think. Those kind of questions come into play, right? And I'm not saying they're going to do that for sure, but that is the concern. I guess part of me just thinks that if you are the owner of that space and you're just the experts in the field, you don't really need an editorial presence. But, hey, maybe I'll be completely wrong and I'll end up enjoying their editorial content. We'll see what that ends up looking like. So at the $5 tier per month, which is the silver tier, you get access to a want list and access to collection management for up to 5,000 issues in one collection. So this is starting to turn a little bit into what some other services offer, things like CLZ, where you can keep track of your comic collection, or COVRPRICE does this as well. And there's others out there, of course. Now at the $9 a month tier, you get up to 5 collections, unlimited data, and discounts for other GFE products, which is interesting. What could those products be? It also does seem to include a list of comic book stores on the site, which is a good feature to see. So I used the Bleeding Cool article for most of that, but just looking at their website here, you see the same information just repeated. There's a little, comparison graph of the different features you get. It is interesting that there's a $sign on all these except for the $sign next to the gold tier at the $9. Yeah, I understand it's a mistake most likely, but this is kind of an interesting point. Anything that I've seen from the Geppy family, Diamond portals, the Gerber website, none of their technology presence really has impressed me too much. So I'm going to be very cautious about this until I see it in action, just to be honest with you. So I think that really, it's an interesting approach. They do seem to be taking a holistic approach here, collection management, a database of comics you can search, comic book pricing. The special member content section is still a little bit up in the air to me, but they are trying to compete with other organizations that are doing the same thing, right? Now, one section that really caught my attention was there's this little section on the bottom where they talked about Overstreet pricing above 9.2, and it's basically talking about how the print version of Overstreet doesn't price above 9.2, but they said here at Overstreet Access that will not be the case. So they mentioned that as you already know, we have not previously supplied these prices as they were simply considered too volatile to establish an annual publication. So here at Overstreet Access, however, this will not be the case. Since our name is Overstreet, though, we're going to be doing it right rather than fast. That is at least good lip service. Let's see if they live up to that. I'd love to see that. The guide is a tremendous history of being accurate over the long haul, and we're not trading away that for some quick fix. We're not going to put up prices just to have them there, only to have them be wrong. You deserve better, and we're going to get it. That is very interesting to see. In fact, we will have a significant number of comics priced in those grades by October 26, referring to grades above 9.2. So that is fascinating to see. That has been something that's kind of been interesting with Overstreet. It makes sense that they would do this, but I like how they're saying we're not just, oh, we realize that we need to have higher grade pricing. They're saying we need to do it the right way, and we're going to go about it slow and steady and get it right. I like that. So we've already kind of moved into my impressions a little bit, so let's finalize that. With Overstreet, you have a industry leader, somebody who's been respected and in the business for a long time, stepping onto the stage. This is something that I have wanted for a very long time. I've wanted Overstreet to be more involved with information in comic books, with grading processes, with pricing in a current standpoint rather than the annual publication. And so to me, this is very interesting. I'm excited to see where this goes. But I'm also very cautious about stuff like this. I don't want to see sort of the Key Collector 2.0. And I say that, and there's a lot of people out there that assume I don't like Key Collector or I have some kind of an issue with Key Collector. And I do have some issues with Key Collector as far as what they do for driving the market and the fact that a book will pop up and become something that people will go out and buy only because it appears on the list. There's a lot of responsibility involved with why that book appears on the list, and you have to ask yourself who's really profiting when one of those books shows up on the list. And in a lot of cases, that's Key Collector if people run out and buy it on eBay, that kind of stuff. So that's what I worry about with Key Collector. I don't actually worry about whether or not Key Collector is a net good or a net bad as far as the hobby goes, because I do think Key Collector serves an important purpose. And as I've mentioned in several videos in the past, I use Key Collector. So it's not like I have some kind of severe issue with them. But I am somebody who strongly believes that competition is a good thing. And if you're going to have competition in a comic book pricing, grading, and kind of overall speculator type role in this particular hobby, you want Overstreet involved in the game. It's just as simple as that. So I'm definitely going to be checking out this service, and I'm going to be reporting back to you all to let you know how it goes and see what my impressions are of this service. It's gotten to the point in the video where I want to know what you think about this service, so let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you want to discuss it further, you could go head over to my Discord, or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter and go talk to me about that. I'd really appreciate hearing how you feel. I do have plenty of ways for you to save on comics, comic supplies, comic grading, all kinds of things down below in the links in the description. So definitely check those out and try to save yourself some money. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. For just a few dollars a month, you get a chance to win some free comic books every month, and you get access to some cool emoji, and you get to help support me, which hopefully is fun, right? Thanks so much for watching another video, and I want to remind you, as always, hey, 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 read comics every day.